You know what's truly dreadful? The thought that you might waste your time reading that rulebook you're holding. I'm Ryan from How I Roll, and in this Rip Up the Rules, I'm going to teach you how to set up and play Dreadful Dragons so that you can outplay your rivals, steal their Crest Tiles, and hoard more gems than anyone else at the table. So go ahead and rip up that rulebook and burn it to a crisp. Dreadful Dragons is designed by Shem Phillips and published by Arkus Games, who helped sponsor this video. It's a trick-taking card game for 2 to 6 players that plays in about 20 or 30 minutes. You know what doesn't take 30 minutes? Hitting that subscribe button. So go ahead and do that, and let's roll over to the table and learn this game together. Are you a professional multitasker? Well, Dreadful Dragons will put that to the test because it's a trick-taking game where each round you're actually running 2 tricks at the same time. You're playing cards, collecting Crest Tiles mid-round, and earning gems. The player with the most gems at the end of the game wins and is crowned the Great King Dragon. Think you've got what it takes to manage dual tricks and hoard the most gems? Let's find out. Here's how you set up the game. Shuffle all 56 dragon cards into a face-down draw pile in the center of the table. Each player chooses 1 Crest Tile they'd like to start with and takes it. Then in the center of the play area, place the remaining Crest Tiles, all the gems which come in 3 denominations. Whites are 1, pinks are 5, and reds are worth 10. And the reference cards so that everyone can reach them. Next, give the King Dragon marker to a random player. Finally, you need to deal the cards to the players, but this really varies based on player count. And with lower player counts, you don't only play with a hand of cards, but also what's called a hoard of cards as well. A hoard is a pyramid of cards that a player has that they'll also be able to play from throughout the game. If you're playing with 2 or 3 players, you have to use a hoard for each player. At 4 players, it's optional, and at 5 or 6, you don't use it at all. Let me break down the card allocation for each player count. At 2 players, each player gets 14 cards in hand and a hoard of 14 cards, which is a pyramid of cards with rows of 5, 4, 3, and 2 cards. All of these are face down except these top 2. With 3 players, you get 9 cards in hand and a hoard of 9 cards, which means you just don't have the bottom row that 2 players would have. At 4 players, if you choose to play with hoards, each player gets 9 cards in hand and 5 in their hoard using 1 less row than the 3-player setup. Or if you roll without hoards, each player just gets 14 cards. At 5 players, deal 11 cards to each player, and at 6 players, everyone starts with 9 cards. Remove the remaining cards from play, if there are any, and make sure that no one looks at them. And that's the setup. Now let's talk about how this game actually works. But before we get into a round, let's take a quick look at the dragon cards, because everything else clicks into place once you understand this. Each card shows 2 dragons of 2 different suits, one on the top half and one on the bottom half, each with their own value. And no matter which card you're looking at, the 2 values always add up to 15. So a card with a dragon worth 9 on top will always have a dragon worth 6 on the bottom, and so on. That relationship is at the heart of every decision you'll make. One more important concept is that if you are playing with hoards, anytime you play a card, you can choose to play from your hand or one of the face-up cards in your hoard. And if you play a card that uncovers at least 1 face-down card, you immediately turn those cards face up. Here's how a round works. The player holding the King Dragon marker plays first by choosing any card from their hand or a face-up hoard card and placing it face up in front of them. They then set the King Dragon marker on top of it. This is now the lead card of the round. Going clockwise from the lead player, every other player must now play a card face up in front of them. Here's the key rule. If you have any card in your hand or face-up hoard that matches at least one of the 2 dragons on the lead card, you must play one of those matching cards. Only if you genuinely can't match either dragon can you play any card you'd like. Now here's the fun part that makes Dreadful Dragons unique. Crest Tiles are up for grabs in the middle of the round as each card is played. As soon as you play a card that matches one of the dragons on the lead card, check if your card's value for that dragon is the lowest of that dragon across all cards played so far this round. If it is, you immediately snag the Crest Tile for that dragon right then and there. If you gained it either from the center of the table or stole it from another player like a big meanie pants, you immediately gain 1 gem for each Crest Tile you personally hold at that moment. If you already had that crest, nothing happens. So for example, here the lead card has a red dragon with a value of 9, and I'm playing a card with a red dragon worth 6, which is the lowest value red dragon on the table. So I claim the red Crest Tile right now by taking it from this player who probably isn't very happy about it. Since I already had 1 other crest and now have a total of 2, I take 2 gems. If someone plays a red card worth 4 later in the round, they'd steal the red Crest Tile from me. rude, and gain gems based on how many crest tiles they now hold. A crest tile can move around multiple times within a single round. If you can't match either dragon on the lead card, the world is your oyster and you're free to play anything. And in that case, you get to pick one of the 2 crest tiles that matches either dragon on your played card, even if it's not the lowest value, and you gain gems as normal. Once each player's played a card, it's time to resolve the 2 tricks initiated by the lead card. Start with the dragon featured on the top half of the lead card. Whoever played the highest valued card of that dragon color this round wins that trick. They take the king dragon marker and gain gems equal to the value of the other dragon on the card they won with. Then resolve the dragon on the bottom half of the lead card in the same way. The highest value wins and awards gems equal to the value of the other dragon on the card. But this time, the king dragon marker doesn't move. So both tricks are worth gems every round, but only the top trick determines who leads next. So in this example, the lead card has blue on top and we resolve that trick first. This player played an 8 value blue, which is the highest at the table, so they win that trick and take the king dragon marker, and they also gain 7 gems since the other dragon on their winning card has a value of 7. And the bottom dragon of the lead card is red. This 11 is the highest red dragon at the table, and so they win the trick, gaining 4 gems because of the other dragon on their winning card. So that's how you play a round. Unless the game end has been triggered, discard all played cards and start a new round with the player now holding the king dragon marker playing the new lead card. Gameplay continues like this until the end of the game, but before I explain that, there are a couple important rules for various player counts. First off, if you're playing with only 2 players, stealing a crest works a little bit different. If the other player has a crest you've just earned, instead of taking it directly from them, move it back to the center of the play area. Then, if you were ever to take it again, it moves from the middle to your possession and gains you gems. So basically, pilfering a crest from the other player takes 2 steals instead of just 1. Also, for games with 2 or 3 players, you play extra cards each round. With 3 players, after everyone has played their first card, each player plays a second card in the same clockwise order following the same lead card rules. And in a 2-player game, you'll each play a third card after that too. Each card played is still subject to the same matching rule and crest tile opportunities. And lastly, in a 6-player game, players form 3 teams of 2, and you're paired with the person sitting directly across from you. You'll work together, so this means you can't steal crest tiles from your own teammate. But when either of you collects a new crest tile, both teammates gain 1 gem for each crest tile they personally hold. At the end of the game, it's the team with the highest combined gem value that wins. As I mentioned earlier, you keep playing tricks until the endgame is triggered. The game ends when each player only has a certain number of cards left between their hand and their hoard. At 2 players, that's 4 cards remaining each. At 3 players, it's 2 cards. And in a 4, 5, or 6-player game, it's 1 card each. Once you hit this point, the game ends and all players gain 1 gem for each crest tile they currently hold. Everyone adds up their total number of gems, and the player with the highest total gem value wins and is crowned the Great King Dragon, while other players go down in flames. In a tie, whoever holds the most crest tiles wins, and if you're still tied after that, the tied players share the victory. And that's Dreadful Dragons, no rulebook required. I hope you have an amazing time playing and that this video helps you dive right in. If you have any questions or need a rule clarification, drop a comment below and you'll hear right back from me. I've linked the Board Game Geek page for Dreadful Dragons in the description below, along with the Arkus Games website where you can learn even more. Thank you so much for watching another Rip Up the Rules. There's always room at the table for you.